G'day everyone, Matt Elder Family Bricks here, and welcome to the first East Meets West live stream. We're just doing at this time Friday morning UK, and it will be about 8 o'clock in Sydney and Australia time, and then it'll be silly o'clock over in New York in the States. So thanks very much for everyone who's joining. Just have a quick little look here, see who we've got so far. We've got Solar Brick Builder. Just need to change that setting on that. Brett's Builds, hi, how you going? 80s is life. Oh, I actually got that right for the first time. So good to see you around as well. And just having a look through, who else have we got here? Hopefully got those people in so far. That's great. All right, then this is just going to be a little bit of a chilled sort of stream, just have a few people along. So bring in the first guest who people here who are already in probably already know has a fantastic Discord server and is able to help everyone connect and find out who's doing what when. Bring in the wonderful Sarah Starbricks. How are you going, Sarah?
Hi Matt. Hi everybody in the chat. I see Brett and 80s, Darren, everybody out there. Hello, Mama's Bricks as well.
Yeah, g'day to Mama's Bricks. Great to have you along. Thanks for joining us. How you go there? Hello. Yes, very good. And we'll bring in somebody else who is able to, on this inaugural thing, do the East meets West. And over in the land down under, from the opposite side, which I'm used to, that would be Adora Build. How are you going, Adora?
Hi, everyone. How are you all? It's great to be here. Thanks so much for the invite to stream with you tonight, Matt.
Yeah. No, thanks very much for being along. It's one of those things, as you say, thanks tonight. It's sort of like daytime here in the morning, so it's just adjusting the time zones and everything. So, how's your week been?
It's been a busy week, but it's Friday night now. Matt and Sarah were very privileged to see me shoveling down my dinner. So you guys in the comments missed out on that fun experience. But yeah, it's the start of my weekend. So I'm kicking off the weekend with Lego building, and what could be better than that?
Yeah, exactly. Because you saw before that you've done this amazing elves, basing it off the colors and things from elves and things like that, which looks fantastic. So definitely for everyone in the chat there, if you haven't already, check out each other's channels and that. On the replay, I'll put in the description the links to both Adora Builds and Sarah Starbricks' channel. Adora, what might you just be chillaxing with and doing this evening?
Well, I've got two options. So I either have the Harry Potter Privet Drive set, which I know, Sarah, you've already built this, and I've seen your live build and your review. And then the other option I have is the latest Friends Beach House.
So I like the beach house. But I don't know how people in the chat feel.
Which one are you leaning towards?
Sarah's voting beach house. We can do Privet Drive.
I'd probably go the beach house. I mean, I do have Privet Drive, but I haven't actually. The Friends line is not something not in my wheelhouse. So I'd be really interested to see what that one looks like.
Cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, let's get that one open then. I'm happy to go with that. It's always nice to have a rainbow and all the bright colours on side of the screen. Just straighten up my camera though.
And how about yourself, Sarah? What are we looking at tonight?
Well, I have this, it's 31104. It's the little monster truck, food truck. But I built the one of the 3-in-1s on Solo Brick Builder's stream the other day on Wednesday. So I think I'm going to take this apart, this tractor, and then I'm going to rebuild it into maybe the main build.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I've seen the burger one before, and when you were building that the other day on Solo's channel, I was wondering where that came from. Didn't realize that was one of the 3.
Yeah. The 3 builds are kind of really interesting and different on here, but the main build, of course, is the main event.
The big burger truck.
I love that burger. It's so cute and funny.
Yeah. No, it looks great. So okay, cool. All right then. And for me, I'll just take you off that there. Might just need to flip the camera around here. Bear with me 1 second.
The nice thing is that it seems like the chat is agreeing with both of you as well for the beach house.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's sort of Solo as well. Put that out there, the beach house, which I think with all the Harry Potter stuff which has been out lately, most people have probably seen all of that or been building it. So,
Is the beach house Andrea's? Is there an Andrea in that one?
There is an Andrea in this one. There's also Mia. Officially, Andrea actually hasn't had a house yet.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, so this house isn't actually called Andrea's beach house. It's just called a beach house with the 2 mini dolls in it. So we're still waiting for Andrea's house.
Yeah, I think Mia's was the last house, right?
Yeah, I thought it was sort of quite interesting as well because obviously we did get Livy's pop star house a few years ago, which I actually thought was quite suitable for Andrea because obviously they both like singing and the colours were very similar to the colours that Andrea has now and all of those sorts of things as well. So, but no, we're still waiting for an actual house with Andrea in it and Andrea's parents. We still haven't got her parents.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is. It is a bit weird. And I think I did see something somewhere as well that I think in one of the future waves, we're actually getting another Olivia's house.
Really?
So, yeah, well, I think so. That's obviously not confirmed, but it seems like we're getting Olivia. She's obviously been updated. So she's got her glasses and a different skin.
Olivia as well, but I would love Andrea because I would love some more different skin tones.
Yeah, me too. Me too, definitely.
Especially for guys.
Yeah, I think that would be so nice and super lovely to be able to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. But anyway, Andrea's here. And the other thing that's quite nice about this set as well, where did I see it? Oh, on this part down here, is that it looks like the roof actually flips up and we've got like DJ decks.
That does look cool.
The summer party is definitely going to continue.
And I guess, it's that thing where it's winter in Oz at the moment, so it'd be nice thinking about summer, I guess. Yeah,
but but our winters aren't really that cold in Australia.
That's the thing. I've still got family back home, and it's sort of like we might have a nice warm day in the UK, and it's sort of like it's still less than what the family is in Australia in their winter. It's just like, okay, then.
Yeah. Well, I lived in the UK. Like I lived in London for about 3 years when I was in my 20s. And when I got back, it was just coming out of the UK winter and going into the Australian winter. And all my family kept on saying, why are you just in a T-shirt and jeans? Aren't you cold? It's freezing. And I'm just like, it's like 16 degrees. This is almost like our summertime in the UK. Like I completely acclimatized to the colder weather.
Yeah. I had a friend one time come down from Darwin, and it must have been 25 degrees or something like that. And they were cold, and they're like a sweats and jumper and things like that. And it's just like you do so adjust to that, and it seems like within 10 degree range, you become very accustomed to it.
Oh yeah, totally. I think that it's bizarre.
Yeah.
And then I was even just saying to CC from Cafe Con Lego the other day, like the whole time that I was in the UK, it was always really bizarre for me to have Christmas when it was cold and snowy. Because in Australia, our Christmas is in the middle of summer. And so usually we have like cold meat and salad, and we're under the air conditioning because it's like 40 degrees outside. And a cold Christmas just didn't feel normal. It was so bizarre.
Yeah. It's that whole sort of thing, particularly when you're growing up in Australia and you're seeing Santa Claus in like, you know, a big red coat and everything like that. And it's sort of like, this doesn't make any sense. It's summer. Why is he wearing like all this warm gear and stuff? But
I don't know. It weirds me out when Christmas is warm. I don't like it at all. My parents lived in Aruba for like 5 years, and I used to go and visit them for the holidays, and it was always so hot there. It felt so strange.
yeah, it's what you get used to, because then other people are very much the other way. It's sort of like, how do you handle a warm Christmas? Like, you know, it's a fire and you're snug by the chimney and all the rest of it. So we'll just go through a couple of the things out of the chat. Mama's Bricks, I hope they make her little sister, and that is the reason why it's still not here. I think that must be referring to why the set hasn't been made for her. We had Solar Brick Builder. Wow, that's pretty sweet. Might have to look into that set. Yeah, I was thinking a bit the same now that I've sort of seen that there in a few of the colours. Then Mama's Bricks. Now we have a second Sophia's house, but that is a 4+ set.
Yeah, but I think the thing that's interesting about that 4+ set is that it does look very similar to her actual house. And so I think that I haven't gotten that 4+ set yet, but I probably will. But I think I'll probably just try and sort of like join them together and just make her house a bit bigger.
I didn't know that they made another Stephanie's house. How interesting.
Yeah, it's just like a little 4+ set, so it's not very big. But it looks so similar. Like it's still got the white walls and the blue tiles and the same windows. I think that it's still got the same print on the window.
Yeah, like an add-on room.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I think would be really cool. Yeah.
I think I have 2 Stephanie's houses anyways, because I really love that house. I really like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous house. I think that's also in James City as well. He has a few different houses in his residential area.
The windows in the Stephanie's house are so cute.
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to pull it up and see if we can find if this is the one that everyone's talking about. Connection seems a little slow. Like this, every time you go to the Lego website, it's like, are you sure you want to be on which side?
Yeah, isn't that a cute house? I love that house.
So that's the original one. So we got that a few years ago, which is really nice. And the windows are really gorgeous because they've got the crisscrossy bars in it and the arch with the stained glass window at the top. And, of course, you also get her parents. And then there's a little 4+ set that's just been released, which has the same colour theme.
So I find that one. That might be there.
Yep, that looks like it. Yeah. So see how it's like the similar colours with the white and the blue.
Yeah, white and the blue there with a little bit of the, what is that, some sort of purple or mauve?
Yeah, the magenta colour.
Yeah. You always get confused with the Bricklink names versus the Lego names.
Yeah.
It's like, you should learn the Lego names, yes, but I'm going to buy the Bricklink ones.
Yeah, exactly.
So just for those of us who are not across the Friends line, when did the Friends line first sort of start?
2012.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
Okay. And they've got
So I've only been back into Lego for 3 years, and then I think I ignored the Friends sets for the first 2 years I was back into Lego, and then I don't know why, but like a year ago I looked into it and I just had so much catching up to do, and I was so in love with so many sets.
Yeah. Well, it was quite funny because I think I'd bought a few creator sets, so a few creator houses. And then I think that the first set that I got was the Pet Salon, which might have been released 2013 or 2014. But I was able to go back and get a lot of the sets that had come out prior to that one. And then I only had a few of the very early sets that I needed to pick up, which I managed to find most of them secondhand. So I've got a very comprehensive Friends collection.
It's just interesting coming across this this other one here. It's the party boat or something. So
Yeah.
seems like is that a big sort of sub, I guess, theme within it? Is all about parties and things?
They have done a few sets over the last couple of waves that have had like a real like beach vibe thing going on. And that's where we've also seen Andrea pop up a little bit. So I think in the last wave, we got like a really nice like little convertible car and then like a little beach stage with some palm trees and a little bit of a stage setup. And then was there one prior to that or in the same wave? But they all seem to have that very same colour theme with the yellow and the dark teal and the magenta. And so they sort of fit all the way across. But I think that that's something that Lego started doing with their sets a lot more over the last few years. So each of the mini dolls sort of has a colour theme, and then they also have like their hobbies that they sort of like participating in. And so there's a bit of like character development in the theme. But I absolutely love that little flamingo floaty.
Yeah, that's great. I'll just sorry just to interrupt for a sec, and we have somebody else joining us, and I'm always amazed. Doesn't matter where they are, what they're doing, there's always time for Lego. Let's bring in Mr. Solo Brick Builder.
Howdy.
Hey, Solo.
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. How are we all doing today?
Yeah, going well, going well. Your sound's a little bit faint. I don't know if you can bring that up a bit, or maybe.
See what I can do. It is on my phone, so
yeah,
it might be a bit. Let's see what I can do. No, not really give me a lot. Just let me know if it improves, because obviously I'm using cellular network, so it might be that.
Yeah, no, that is slightly better than when you first started, so that's good. So yeah, great to have you on. Obviously, you're in between things at work.
Yeah, at work. Here's a little room tour on my van. There's the seat. There's all my rubbish. There you go. This is my life.
You don't have your co-pilot with you.
No co-pilot today. No, just full up with jumpers today. And yeah, I'm just trying to. I don't know whether you can see, but I'm just trying to keep my. So this is actually my camera stand where I film my vlogs on here. So this is where that goes. Got to keep it safe. But yeah, I've got my yogurt just there as well. Got the air conditioning on and trying to keep it cool. Oh, God, so I just set my wiper blades off.
Oh, great.
So how is it in the UK at the moment, Solo?
How is it? It's very dark and very grey at the moment, but it's warm, so yeah, that's all I could ask for at the moment. But just I'm just taking 20 minutes just to chill out and have a bit of lunch and just wait until I go back to all the hectic stuff that's out there. So yeah, it's all good. How's everything over in Aussie land?
Yeah, not too bad. Like over here in the West, we're doing all right. So it is supposed to be winter, but yesterday was absolutely beautiful, and today I hung my washing out on the line, so it's not super cold or horrible or anything like that over here at the moment. I think over East is struggling a little bit more with everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good. I am also going to be starting a new job in the real world outside of Lego.
Oh, wow, exciting.
Yeah, in a week or two. So that's kind of cool too. So yeah, that's my little update.
How dare you leave Lego? How dare you?
So see, because I haven't heard too much from the sort of press sort of side of things. Have you guys greatly been affected by Corona? You've gone into lockdown or those sorts of things, or were you guys sort of out with everything?
For me,
Yeah, sorry.
well, because Australia is quite big, it's different everywhere. I think for Western Australia, we've been quite lucky. So geographically, we're very far away from everything. We've got a really lovely premier at the moment. So he actually locked down our borders straight away, and he even locked down travelling across the state straight away as well. So you could only really travel within your region. There was no travel to our remote Aboriginal communities. And so we're now, I think, 100 and something days free of community transmission. I think that we're at stage 4, about to move to stage 5. So we've been super blessed. However, over east, I think, is a little bit more complicated because obviously their population density is a lot higher. It's a lot more challenging to restrict travel. I know that in Victoria and in Sydney, people quite often, travel from city to city in order to work and those sorts of things as well. So I think Victoria's in a pretty bad way at the moment. But again, it is just about doing what we can and looking after each other. So even now in Western Australia, I'm lucky because the work that I do is health related. So most of us are pretty sensible. Our workplace has been really fantastic about social distancing and, working from home and reducing all of those sorts of things. Obviously, working in health, I've got a pretty good understanding of viruses and transmission and those sorts of things. So again, it's just, wash your hands, wear your gloves, wear your mask, all of that sort of thing as well. But I do think that it is really frustrating and quite sad when people in leadership roles aren't providing accurate and timely information to people. So, but I just sort of go, we can only sort of do what we can do and take responsibility for ourselves. And I think then it's just a matter of us being sensible about things. How about you guys? What's the sort of situation where you're at the moment, Sarah?
Oh, it's getting a lot more relaxed here. So people go out in the main areas, and most people do not wear face masks, like in the stores or out on the streets or in the marketplace. If you ride the public transportation here, then you are required to wear a face mask. But other than that, restaurants are opening back up. People are relaxing a lot more here. But I did hear we're having a second wave, so
Yeah. What about you guys? Being in the UK, how are things there?
Paperwork. That's all I get is bloody paperwork to do with the coronavirus. I'm sick of it. Have I been to a country where coronavirus is affected? Yes. It's called England. God. Yeah. I've got to fill these paperwork out, depending how many factories I go to, probably about 9-10 times a day. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to be honest, being out on the road as much as I am, everything's normal. There's no change. The roads are a little bit quieter, so I'm happy with that. But other than that, people still. I know. I think, am I right in saying, Matt, today in the UK, everyone has to start wearing face masks if you want to go to a shop. So,
yeah, I heard something about that. So yeah, it seems like a lot of those sorts of precautions and everything, they're like coming in now, which to some degree you go, okay, it's great that they're coming in, but are they about 3 months too late?
I don't see the point, because like, they're telling you to wear a face mask, but you also got to keep 2 meters apart still. Like, well, isn't that the whole point of a face mask, that you can go a little bit closer, and, you know, because it's supposed to block the transmission? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I think with all things, prevention is a lot easier than cure, though. So I think that's where it is, that whole thing of, if people can stay 2 meters apart and wear a face mask, then that's helpful. But obviously, it's also taken into account that people are fallible. And so there are things where you won't be able to stay 2 meters apart from each other or whatever. So it's just that sort of 2 layers of protection, and that sort of thing. Again, it is sort of interesting that the expectation is that everyone has to wear a face mask, because generally speaking, only people who are in poor health should be wearing face masks. But I just sort of think, well, it's not too much of an ask. If you get a nice one that's decently made, you can still breathe through it and it's all okay. So, you know.
I'm not paying for face masks. My company gives them to me for free, so I get like a pack of 10 disposable ones. Yeah, that'll do me. That'll do me lovely.
so you don't have a Lego one?
No, I don't have a Lego one. No. I'm trying to make one out of Lego. I think it might be a bit uncomfortable though.
That would be a little bit interesting to see it there. Although if they had a big enough sheet of that that plastic off the Ducati, maybe you could string half a dozen of those together.
Not a bad idea, mate. That's not a bad idea. I like that.
There you go. There's a reason to go and buy like 6 of those.
Oh, God. Spending 60 quid on a Ducati. I love the bike, but yeah, I do want to get another one of those. I do like that. I might get one just to keep it sealed for a little while, or make it a bit bigger. I don't know. I've made up my mind up on that. Oh my God, my mouse has gone twitchy.
Oh, Bricksmith, hello. Nice to have you along on the stream.
Hi, Bricksmith.
Hello to Kate Scott, which I saw earlier, and good to have you along. And Park, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that last name. Butcher that. If anybody else wants to have a crack at it. So yeah, cool. The thing I might just do is have a little chat about the piano. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It was announced yesterday. Obviously, it's coming out of the Lego Ideas, which at the time when it came through, definitely supported that because that was really cool. What do people think of it?
I haven't seen it yet. That looks pretty cute. And I know you're supposed to be able to really play it, right?
Yeah, you can connect your phone to it and it plays songs for it. So
yeah,
it's move and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool like that. So it's kind of, I mean, the way that they've got it is that if you press a key on the app, it moves to the next note. So it's not like a true sort of, you know, you press the C key, you get the C down, you press the A key, you get the A note. So yeah, and it's a big set too for an idea. What is the part count on it? 3,662 pieces.
Yeah, wow, that is a big set.
So, and it has a price to match. So it's going to be £320 in the UK, like 350 American, which I would imagine is going to be about 400 Australian.
Yeah, or maybe even a bit more.
Yeah, depends on what the Aussie peso is doing that day.
Yeah, depends on how lucky we are or not. Yeah, it's an interesting set. I don't think I'll get it, but that's because I buy too much Lego as it is.
I probably won't get it either, but I would love to see it in person because it looks very interesting and different.
Yeah, and that's what I think is going to be interesting, is that I think I'm going to be quite interested to see other people review it and see speed builds with it and that sort of thing. I think that's going to be really enjoyable.
Yeah, it was certainly the sort of thing. I mean, we got kids are doing the piano and everything like that. So when it first popped up, it's like, yeah, this is really interesting. Certainly, possibly interested in buying it. But then it's sort of like, for the price, it's like, wow, that's a little bit extra, and you're getting like the Lamborghini and things like that. Like, it's a really expensive set.
Well, I was just wondering, for $350, can you buy a keyboard? Like a real keyboard? An electronic keyboard? I mean...
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, probably for about $100, you can probably do that.
I mean...
So,
I like Lego, but it's kind of an interesting choice. I'll be very interested to see how it does.
Yeah. I mean, it does strike me as being one of those ones where, again, Lego trying to get into non-traditional markets. Like, obviously, you could see this sitting in a piano shop, and
Sure.
The music shop and things like that. And I think particularly if you got it in a piano shop, like even a second-hand piano, which is half decent, you're talking thousands. So, you could see if somebody walks in and they spend like a new piano and they spend some ridiculous amount, going and spending an extra 300 is kind of next to nothing, if that makes sense, like being relative. So,
like, it will be interesting to see how it does, Matt, because if it does well, do you guys think that there will be more musical instrument Lego? Like, will we have a Lego guitar?
That's an interesting point. I mean, you had as part of, I think, one of the kids' boost ones, you kind of had a bit of a guitar. Sorry, Adora, you were going to say something?
I was just going to say, I think that this set reminds me a lot of the typewriter set as well. So I don't know whether or not, well, we might get more in musical instruments, I don't know, but I do think that Lego really likes that sort of, have a typewriter that you can actually use, have a piano that you can actually play. I think that they sort of seem to quite like that
Lego laptop
ideas. But I'm not an ideas expert. But I just sort of went, it was just funny when I saw this, it actually reminded me more of the typewriter than any other sort of ideas set that sprang to my mind.
Yeah, there's certainly in the initial sort of previews done by like Brothers Brick and a few of the other ones, they're certainly comparing it like to the typewriter and, how does all that sort of work moving forward, how interactive it is.
That whole mechanism and that sort of thing is just a bit sort of reminiscent.
Yeah, and it's sort of, I can really see, somebody's going to get a hold of like Mindstorms, because Mindstorms, you've got a basic keyboard in that, and I can see they'll do a hack or something and make it so that this actually does play for real. It's just like, I guess, the turnaround from when it went through Lego Ideas to actually released as a product next week was quite short. I just would have, for the price that you're paying, to actually see it a bit more functional in that regard. Yeah, but it certainly seems like also too with the August 1st release, there is so much being released next week. Between, this, you've got a whole wave of Star Wars stuff, you've got all the new Mario stuff. I'm sure there's other ones in there as well, but it seems like, I don't know whether they're trying to hit the Northern Hemisphere summer, or I don't know, what are you guys looking forward to sort of getting your hands on the next little bit?
Well, I still want to try and get hold of the Wonder Woman set. I know that that's been out for a little while, but I haven't picked that one up yet. And then I also heard that there is actually one more Lego Trolls set coming out as well, which is really weird and quite random. because all of those came out sort of at the beginning of the year, but now we're just getting one more.
That is kind of weird.
Yeah, it's a really nice looking set, and I think just based on the images that I've seen, I think I'm probably going to prefer it to a couple of the other troll sets, but I'm sort of like going, why are we just getting one now? It's weird. And then I think I've picked up everything else already that I wanted to get hold of, which again just speaks to how much money I spend on Lego.
Uh,
I'm not supposed to be
really-
talking about during a live stream.
I'm really wanting the Nintendo, but I don't know. I don't know. And I want the Hidden Sides castle, but I bought so much a while ago that I was trying to not really pick out anything else to get for a while, but so tempting.
It's such a slippery slope, though.
I know. Oh.
What about you, Solo? Is there anything that you're wanting to get hold of, mate?
Oh, that's a tricky question. Oh, what am I after? Yeah, same as Sarah. I like the Nintendo set, but at the same time, it's like, do I get that? So I'm going to get the small portion of this new Star Wars wave that's coming out. God, I can't even remember what's even coming out anymore on August. But yeah, obviously for me, the big part is obviously the Star Wars wave because I am a Star Wars lunatic. So yeah, but that's probably the main part for me. Is I'm just going to get the 88, the couple of 501st battle pack. And I think that's about it at the moment. I can't really think of anything else at the moment, to be fair.
Do all the new Star Wars sets come out on August 1st as well?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Really,
August 1st is sick.
Yeah, really annoying.
Oh,
really,
sick.
Really annoying.
Why did they do that? Why didn't they stagger it so people can actually afford to buy what they want?
Oh, sorry, man. It's really frustrating. Lego seems to be doing a lot of cock-ups lately. And I think that, it shows in obviously because obviously they've got the Technic Wave as well coming out. Yeah, I was looking forward to building the Osprey, but that's gone to pot now. So,
Like, it just seems kind of foolish to me because if they staggered the releases a little more, people would have, a paycheck again and they can buy more Lego.
yeah, to be honest, I don't know what's going through their brains over at Lego. I generally don't know.
Yeah, I mean that Osprey. You, Sarah and Ordora, are you aware of what happened with the Osprey?
Yeah, I've seen a few things pop up on my news feed, obviously. So, and it seems like there's a lot of really sort of confused and disappointed people.
Yeah. The basic thing was, again, it was another set which was meant to release August 1st. And it's already in, basically in the shops in their back room and everything like that. And then what was it, 2-3 days ago, they decided to cancel it. And, it's always that sort of thing where part of the reason that, the Osprey itself is basically a military plane, which they've kind of dressed up as, a rescue vehicle. So you had a small group in Germany who camped out in front of one of the Lego shops protesting it. So then they've turned around.
I disagree with that. I don't think it was them.
It's
there was only 3 of them that turned up to the shop.
That's the thing. They're sort of using, potentially that's being used as a cover for basically Lego to turn around and go, okay, yeah, we'll discontinue it. But yeah, I think very much so. I mean, Jane did a whole thing on this, and he's got an interesting take on it in terms of, the Lego have internally managed to convince themselves that this set was okay to release because, they've got that whole thing where they don't like to do current weapons and, technology and things like that. And yeah, there's lots of holes in that sort of stance, but that's sort of what's been cited. But yeah, Solo, you were going to say?
Yeah, I think if they just changed the name to like Osprey Prototype, I don't see what the big problem is. Because Bell and Bowie, they did make there is a rescue version out there, which it is only just a fuselage. Don't get me wrong. It was going to be for the Canadian air rescue. for the Mountaineers and all that kind of stuff. So if they just called it an Osprey prototype, I think that could have quite gone through. I don't see what, to be honest, I don't see the big problem on it whatsoever, because they made the Red Baron set, they made a Swordfish before, they made F-15s and all that kind of stuff. I don't see what the problem is. I really don't. I mean, for quite a lot, they made a VW Beetle, which was designed by Hitler. I don't see the point. I generally don't see the problem.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same. It's sort of like there's so many inconsistencies. I mean, there's the classic one of Star Wars, like it's got war in the title. Yeah, they say it's fantasy, so that there, but it's the sort of thing with, as a Technic set, it would have only been Technic people who bought it, and then for the most part, and a lot of the Technic people, they just want construction vehicles. So having a helicopter is then even less appealing. So, but it's one of those things now that it's had this big hoo-ha about it, and in particular, it seems like New Zealand released it early. So,
I need to get old. I need to try and work out who lives in New Zealand, because I want that set. I need that set. I don't care how much it's going to cost me to get the shipping paid in. I want that set.
Yeah, well, it's already popping up on eBay, and it's over $1,000. So
I just find it so weird. Like, if they already made it and it's already in stores, I don't understand why cancel it.
Yeah, that's the bit that I don't understand either, Sarah. And I think Solo's just made such good points there as well. Like, if you don't want war sets, then why have franchise sets that have, helicopters and ships and tanks and trucks and everything? I think about my collection of Avengers sets and Lego Movie 2 Batman sets, and I'm sort of like going, I don't think that's that different.
Like, can they not just put out like a public service thing or like a disclaimer, like, yeah, we released this, I don't know. Can they not just let it be and then just not do it in the future if they don't want it? It just seems weird to me.
Well, I don't think that very many people would have noticed if they hadn't made a fuss of it.
yeah, exactly.
People protesting in Germany, and nobody else was really whinging about it. You just sort of go, I think you've kind of made a bigger deal out of nothing.
Or can't they just sell it in the stores, but like behind the counter, and you have to ask for it? I don't know.
I think the biggest controversy is like going back to these German protesters, like saying, "Oh, it's war" and all that kind of stuff. 3 people, and then they put a petition out with only 100 signatures, and then someone else put a petition out for Lego not to cancel the set, and that got over. I think now it's on like 15,000. I think now. So there's obviously a demand for that set, and I think Lego's just making a big deal out of, well, nothing really, to be honest with you. I think it's just absolutely rubbish, really, to be honest with you. I think Lego's stance on like war stuff is just, I think it's really outdated now, because the world hasn't been at war with each other for a long time now. So I think the only reason why that the guy, the mate who invented Lego, didn't want it to be related to war was because of the Second World War. Well, the Second World War now, how old is that now? It's like 60-something years old now. So, yeah, times change. I think Lego needs to start changing their ways now, I think.
I mean, I can understand it. I just wish that, again, that they would sell it behind the counter or something and let people buy it if they want it, and it's a historic display piece. I mean...
But I think it's even that whole thing of, with Technic sets, you're not really... That Technic sets aren't for a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Like, most of the people that I know that build Technic are usually teens and adults. And I think that by the time you're a teen or an adult, then you've got a better comprehension around what the realities of war actually means and, what the implications of that is. And so therefore you can make a informed and logical decision around whether or not you want that set in your home or not. And what that
great point.
I mean, Technic is a very niche kind of market. No random kid's going to go out and buy it because they are really complicated to build.
Yeah.
For most experienced builders, they are a pain to build. So, it's really only going to be like adult fans that are going to buy it, like lunatics like myself who want to punish myself and build it.
It is quite niche, and like what you're saying, it takes a fair bit of build experience to understand them and put them together and things like that. Like, I can understand it if you've got the thing that's got a gun hanging out the side of it or something like that. Yeah, sure, fair enough. But it's as a rescue helicopter, like, it's the sort of thing. The average, again, you go down to the average punter, he walks into the store and sees that box. Are they going to look at it and go, "Oh, look, that's a military vehicle"?
No.
Yeah, and then there's this whole argument about, oh, well, because it's a Boeing and you're supporting them and they make weapons vehicles and da 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 da. And again, it's sort of like, well, pretty much most other companies, if you go back to what other interests they have and everything like that, it's going to be something similar again. So,
but I think that was the thing, because it was a really good thing. I mean, I watched a bit of Jang's stream, and obviously Sai made up a very good point, but Jang got his information really badly wrong. I wish I was on that stream actually, but that obviously Sai brought up about the Land Rover.
Yeah.
And obviously Jang says, well, it's not a military vehicle. I'm like, how do you think Land Rover started? They didn't just start by making public vehicles. Their first vehicle was the Defender, the Snatch Land Rover, which, for anyone out there who knows their vehicles, it's the military version of it. And then eventually, obviously, they turned it into the Defender for farmers. But Land Rover started with a military contract. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So, you kind of got that market. And obviously, they released the Defender a little while ago in a Technic set, which technically is still part of the army. So, just why? Because it's done to the public. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say on it, because I was going to get quite angry.
Yeah. Hi to Brick Clicker, Brett's Builds. Great to see you here. Lego the Maniac, great that you're on in the chat as well. Great to see you. And I know I'm going to walk into now the butchering the names. We've got Null, Aggie, Fox O'Connor. Hopefully somewhere in the ballpark of that. My apologies. And I thought there might have been one or two other people who may have popped in the meantime. Brett's Builds, I think we saw earlier on. So, yeah, cool. All right, then. I mean, I guess the nice thing about some people having access to that Osprey set, then you would hope then at least Lego publish the instructions on their website, or if not, it'll turn up on a third-party website somewhere.
I really hope so, but if it's $1,000, then I'm not. That's a bit far out of my price range, but I'm sure if I sweet talk myself over to a few Aussies or someone over in New Zealand, then I will give him a big old sloppy kiss. Please send it to me.
We'll have to track down a few Aussie, some Kiwi builders for you, Solo.
Yeah, I got to find myself a Kiwi. I don't know anyone yet. I know Steve Reynolds, but I don't know he lives in Australia as well. I need to find myself someone who lives in New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah. We need to go a bit further to the east.
Yes.
G'day to Alexander68C. Good to have you along.
Right, has that filled up? Oh, crap. Oh.
80s is life. Null Ag is pronounced as Null Ig. Okay, Null Ig. Yeah, my pronunciation is terrible on people's names, so apologies for that. Yeah.
Yeah, all right, okay. Right, I'm going to have to shoot off. I've just been told that my truck is ready for some work. So, lucky me, I get to go do some work.
Okay. Thanks very much for popping on.
Thanks for having me on, Matt. Nice to see everyone again.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Bye. Have a good day at work.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
See you, mate.
And yeah, for anybody out there, that was Solo Brick Builder. After the stream, I'll update the description. You can follow him. And tomorrow night on my night stream, I'm going to be doing a live sketch stream, and Solo has been kind enough that he'll be co-hosting that. So basically, anyone in the chat, come along to that. You say what you want me to draw, and we do it. It's a little bit like Kevin Hinkle's Doodle stream, which is going to be on probably about 4 or 5 hours after this one. So if you want to pop over to him, you can also see a little bit of how he does it. So cool. How are you getting along with that, Dora? The actual build there?
Yeah, it's coming along quite nicely. So seems like I've got a lot of the ground floor done. I do really like some of what the friend sets are doing more recently as well, where we actually have sort of quite unusual shapes of the floor plan of our builds. So we're not always building in rectangles anymore, which is really cool. And then I've just added in some water, which has got some really nice little stickers there. If I can get my webcam to focus.
Yeah, you can kind of see them there. So, oh, cool.
So some little fish and some little bubbles. So yeah, it's looking really nice. And then the other thing that's been quite cool with this set is that we did get a flamingo with this set.
Oh, cute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's my first flamingo. I didn't actually end up getting one with the minifig collector series, and then we've also got another little baby dolphin.
That's cool. I've never seen the baby dolphin before.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of really nice little animal parts in there as well. What else did we get? We also got a little green suitcase, which I think is quite a cute little part. I don't know if anyone else is interested, but a tease might be interested, is that Mia's top is also a new print as well. So I've not seen that print before.
I like that. That's cute.
Yeah, so it's got like little cherries or something on it. And then I've also finished the little paddle boat as well. So yeah, it's a cool little set. I'm really enjoying it. Whereabouts are you up to, Matt, with your build?
I'm looking at the instructions. Looking
at the instructions and chatting to us. Excellent.
Yeah. It's funny. Before I started streaming, I used to, like with hosts and things, give them a little bit of stick because they'd hardly ever build anything. But then once you start hosting, it's sort of like, now I understand why.
Yeah.
There's some people. I think Solo's good at it too. He can build and host at the same time. It's just like, I don't know how you guys can do that. It's like I'd put out like 2 pieces and it'd be like in the wrong place. So yeah, if you don't mind, Adora, what I might do is just pull up your Instagram and just go through some of your builds and things, because they look awesome.
That's cool.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, no, let's go for it.
Just,
if I can remember what I've posted.
Is that going to be large enough, or do I?
Yeah, so that's my elf shelf. So that's been my most recent display shelf. And what's been sort of quite interesting with that is that was sort of really inspired by JC and Small Brick City about finding different ways that we can display our favourite sets. And so with most of my elves builds is that they were on my bookcase, but they were just on a plain white shelf with no terrain or anything like that. And I did sort of group them together so that they looked nice and kind of pretty. But then I just had this sort of brainwave of it would be really cool to be able to put in more trees in the little river and carry things on and, you know, add more to it and build little hills and everything. So, yeah, so that's what I started to do. So this one is actually the second shelf that I finished. but they do take a long time to finish because in Perth we don't have a Lego store. So I have to order all my parts on Bricklink, which can get a bit pricey and time consuming.
Yeah, and does most of the parts from Bricklink come from the East Coast?
Yeah, I do have. There's a few Australian sellers that I use quite frequently. So there's actually 2 in Western Australia that are quite good. But unfortunately, due to lockdown and Lego Masters, our Lego, like our Bricklink stores are emptying out a lot. Usually postage from the UK from the US isn't too bad, but postage from Europe is a bit much. But if that's where parts are, then I just have to click it and buy it and look the other way and pretend that it never happened. So I have gotten parts from Europe before, and again, usually what I try and do is group in a whole heap of stuff. So I'll be planning out different builds that will be coming up and finishing off a few like little random parts from other stuff that I've not been able to get hold of. So my Bricklink wanted lists are very complicated.
Ginormous sort of things, yeah.
Yeah. And then this is my little yep. Yeah, so purple trees, lots of foliage. That's what I enjoy building. Just a slightly different angle. That one's the little Olaf's trading post. So I've mainly been trying to work on the interior and the roof line for that. And that will be going into my Lego city. So
I love that. It looks so Christmassy and adorable.
Yeah.
A little gingerbread house.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking, gingerbread.
Yeah. And it's sort of quite interesting because in the movie there's more of a veranda, but in the set it was only really a facade and it was even narrower. So I widened it and then I actually put a back onto it. But the sort of concept was there. So I just thought it would be really cute to add in that part of the story to my display.
Yeah, no, it's that looks great.
Which I find quite funny, being that in wintertime, it's boiling hot in Australia, yet I'm making gingerbread houses and an entire snow city. Some of my dot sets. So,
yeah. Disney.
So that was for the 72-hour live stream. I was really lucky to be able to build both of those. And I was a guest on Sarah's live stream, which was really good fun, and a few other live streams as well.
Yeah, no, it's how have you found the train Disney part of that? Well, that set. Sorry, I know it's multiple sets.
Yeah, I like the look of the train, but I'm no train expert. So I think that it looks really cool. I haven't downloaded the app and tried out the motor function yet because I build on my dining room table, which is where I am now, which is sort of like a 4-seater round dining room table. But my Lego city is actually at a family member's place. They've let me have one of their spare rooms as my Lego city. So the Disney castle, the train station, and the train will actually be going into the Lego city. But in order to get the train to be able to do a loop, I've needed to get more track.
Yeah.
But fortunately, one of my West Australian Bricklink stores had enough track. So I went and picked that up. There's Pucky, sound asleep, being bored after the 72-hour live stream.
I'll just sit here and sleep for 72 hours.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully I can get both of those into my city. some of the little panda builds, because within the Friends theme for this summer wave, we've gotten a lot of jungle sets. And so in one of the jungle sets, we've got a few like little panda builds. I think Cece from Cafe Con Lego, she just did a live stream with the panda set. And I've got a video on my channel from a week or two ago with a speed build with that set as well.
Is that that's a dots bracelet? Is that a printed tile that comes with the dots, or is that something you had elsewhere?
No, that's some of the dots tiles.
Okay.
So they're like little panda faces.
Yeah, I haven't checked out the second wave, so that must be in one of those ones.
Yeah, second wave. I think that they came in the Mega Dots pack, bracelet mega pack. So you get the 5 different coloured bracelets, which is where that mint green bracelet came from as well. And then the panda faces were some of the tiles that you can get. The only thing that I didn't like with the dot stuff is that you don't have any guarantee of what tiles you're going to get. So it's completely random.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've never been a huge fan on that, because it's sort of like, you know, it encourages little kids, you know, potentially with some of that gambling aspect, because it's sort of like, well, if I buy a whole bunch, then maybe I'll get one, or, you know, that sort of thing. And
I prefer to just be able to go, okay, I'm going to get 2 of every printed tile, and that's that, which is why I like the individual packs of the bracelets, because that seems to be more of what you get, is that you actually know what's going to be in there. And then even the extra dots, like the little packets, I sort of go, because they're usually $4, $5, $6, is that you can usually get most of the tiles if you pick up, you know, 4, 5, 6 packets of those. And I think even for smaller kids is that they can pick that up over the period of 6 months. You know, if they just get a little extra dots pack every month when they go to the store for $5, then that's sort of doable, and they probably end up with all the tiles. But that mega pack, I sort of went, I think it was about $30 here, and I probably only got about half the tiles that were available
for it. Yeah,
panda tiles, which was the good thing. But I didn't get any penguin tiles.
No.
I may have gone to Bricklink to get them though.
To get them from there, yeah. I mean, that was the dot stuff is pretty well priced. Like, I mean, we spend a lot of time, you know, complaining about how expensive a lot of the different Lego sets are, and Disney tax and everything like that. But I think the dot stuff, they've got a really good and reasonable sort of price point.
Yeah, and that's what I think with the, like, when we had the little Friends heart boxes last year, and then the little Friends cubes that we've gotten this year, I sort of think that they were a really nice price point as well.
Yeah.
So another one of the Friends sets, that's the little accessory store, and then next to that there's the little dots desk organizer, I think they called it.
Yeah, that's part of the second wave.
Yeah. So nothing rebuilt or anything like that with those, just as they came out. So I do like that accessory store. I think that's going to be really nice in my city. There's some of the jungle sets. So on that corner down there, you can see the panda build, but this is actually a combination of some of the 2020 jungle sets and then the 2014 jungle sets as well.
Oh, okay.
And what I will be doing in my Lego city is that I just have to go and pick up my 3rd tabletop, and then I will be making a little bit of a temporary jungle area with both jungle waves, so the new one and the older one, and combining them in together, which I think will be really cool.
Yeah. And have you noticed between, say, the 5 those difference in time, that there's a lot of different building techniques and pieces, or is it sort of still in the same vein?
Yeah, it's similar. So I think once again, with the newer sets, is that we have got more organic shapes, whereas I think with the older sets, they were still quite square. The thing that I did like is that there's still enough of a crossover of pieces. So in both of them, we still got the palm leaves. We've still got similar colours with the medium azure and the lime and the green, even the dark pink colour between the old sets and the new sets. It means that then they don't look too obvious as to which ones are old and which ones are new. And I think they do actually look quite nice piled in together, all jumbled in together.
No, yeah. Okay, let's just go through and sort of see if there's more of your own sort of mocks and creations. Is that a...
Yeah, so that's partway through the elf shelf. So that was before I added in all the extra trees, and you can even see down the front I hadn't added in the different tiles on the streams. The little dragon doesn't have his mossy area to stand on. I still need to put a lot more through. So I have tried to do, there's usually about 2 or 3 videos for my mocks so that people can actually see the process from a bare shelf and what sets I've picked out through to the finished product.
Yep.
I
And
haven't got any of the
your...
jungle cubes yet, Mama's Bricks. The only place that the jungle cubes are available at the moment are on the online Lego store, which is also the most expensive place for us to buy Lego from.
Oh, wow.
So, and then that's one side of my Lego city. And most of that was actually built on this dining table in sections. So right at the bottom of the photo, that's an underwater mermaid village. And there is actually a video about that on my channel. And then what will be going on top of the mermaid village will be my grand hotel, which is where you can see the little circle of green. Yeah, so there will actually be a plate that will go, well, not a plate, probably a piece of wood that will then be Lego that will go on top of that, which will then have the grand hotel on there. And then there'll be like a little bit of a road or a path that will then lead down to the shops, which will be looking out over the beachfront. And eventually...
That's
really
amazing.
pretty. Like the colors are just so gorgeous.
Yeah, it was one of those things though, because I'd been building Lego for quite a long time. And then, like I said, I had sort of started to display it on my bookcase, but not a lot of it. And then a year or 2 ago, I sort of went, I really want to build a Lego city. So I actually went onto YouTube and was like, how to build a Lego city. And there are so many fantastic cities out there that are absolutely amazing and inspirational and fantastic. But I just went, but none of them use any of the friend sets or have princesses in them. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to have to go off and do a bit of my own thing. And I also think that even like the colour palette between the sets and a lot of like the city sets or even like the modulars and the creator sets and all of those sorts of things is quite different. So that's where I sort of went, quite often with friends is that we have that beautiful medium azure colour as our water, whereas in a lot of the other sets it seems to just be the standard blue. Mm-hmm. Again, in friend sets we do get the tan colour as our sand, which I think is what gets used a lot of the time elsewhere. But in some of the sets, they actually use that bright light yellow as sand instead. And I just sort of went, that would be something a bit different as well. So, and then I think that there's obviously a lot more flowers, a lot more purple in my city as well compared to some of the others. But I think that's the nice thing about Lego is that we can all just be creative in our own ways.
But that's the really good thing because, like, rather than just, you see so many cities and, not knocking it, but, they've got the largely based around the standard modulars and things.
Yeah.
which, yeah, sure, you start somewhere and things like that. But when you're doing it like this, where it's just so kind of different,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and as you're saying, even just the main standard pieces that you get, the colors are slightly different, and particularly in this one, you're getting a lot of heavy saturated colors.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah. But I think that that's also quite funny as well, because I remember when I was living in the UK, I always felt like the tone of the UK was like dialed down, so it wasn't as it was sort of like grey and dull and a bit, very
the
brilliant.
UK is the Star Wars of Lego.
Yeah, brilliant in so many ways, but just a different colour palette.
Yeah.
And when people ask me to describe what it's like to live in Perth in Western Australia, I used to always sort of joke and say it's like Technicolor. It's like you've landed in Oz. Everything is so bright and crisp, and we've got so many parks right in the middle of the city. We look out at our Australian ocean and it's like, this beautiful bright blue with this white sand on the beaches, and I just sort of went, and I think because of that, we then have, I don't know, a bit more brightness and a bit more colour. It's the same thing when I was travelling through like California as well. I don't know whether or not it's part of the beach lifestyle or if it's sunnier or whatever, is that you just get more of that colour. Same with Miami, all their beachfront shops are usually really bright and colourful as well. And so I don't know whether or not that's had an impact on the colour palette that I choose to build with as well. I don't know.
I think, yeah, if you're used to seeing those pops of colours, and I notice that a lot too, just being in the UK, that particularly in winter and things like that, when it's grey skies for 6 months of the year, it really does sort of kind of affect you. Whereas, you see that the bright sunny, the crisp white or gold or tan type sand color and clear blue water.
Yeah,
it is quite different. But that's
and again, I just sort of think to myself, it's just nice to be able to, for everyone to be able to build how they want, And again, I've even seen some absolutely beautiful like Ninjago cities and that sort of Oriental themed cities as well. Like I think
you've probably seen Kaz's. Have you seen Kaz Mockett's Ninjago district?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And then even Lego Leprechaun, he has a really fantastic, more Ninjago sort of Oriental style city as well. And even for those, you get a different colour palette compared to like what you were saying, the more traditional sort of modular and creator sort of city as well. So, and I just think that it's interesting for everyone to be able to build different things.
Yeah. It's just otherwise everybody is the same, and it's just sort of
Yeah, but essentially, the reason why I started to build my city like that is because I couldn't find anyone else that had done it. And the reason why I started my YouTube channel was because I was just sort of like, a lot of the people that have YouTube channels about friend sets and that sort of stuff tend to target kids, which is fantastic. But I just sort of went, I quite liked the idea of being able to engage with more teens and adults and that sort of thing too, and be able to sort of say, no, these are nice sets. You don't have to think that mini dolls are fantastic to enjoy these sets if you don't want to. Like they've got value, they've got merit.
Yeah, it's certainly a matter of, I think we were talking just before we started that you just have the set, and then if you want, just take the mini doll away if that really is an issue for you.
Yep, just get rid of that. Again, if you want to modify it, change it up. If you don't want too much pink in your city, that's okay. Swap that colour out.
Go with a different one.
Yeah.
So with the side of these cliffs here, is that I know it's difficult to describe, but what's the general way that you've constructed that? Do you use those sort of partially pre-built
There's some, there's some of the big ugly rock pieces and the medium ugly rock pieces in there. There's a lot of inverted slopes, a lot of the longer bricks as well in there as well, and then a lot of slope parts and a lot of cheese wedges. So, and that front section, that was the second section that I built out of the 3 sections of that particular photo. And so that was on my dining room table for months. I couldn't actually eat on my dining room table because that literally took up all the room. So, yeah. And it took quite a while to even get the blue from the ocean to look right as well on the inside. So while there's all the grey on the outside for the rock work, it's also all fully lined in blue on the inside. So that the Mermaid Village looks really underwater.
So you're talking about adding like a bit of wooden building up from it. Are you going to do that in such a way that you can easily detach it to still see in there, or you can put lights in there, or what's your sort of thought process about?
Yeah, well, there's the big hole there on the corner will remain open. I do want to neaten up the top of that. So I do have the parts to be able to do that. I've just got to sit down one day and actually neaten off the top of it so it's more of a circle. And then there's a couple of other little holes in 2 of the sides of the rockwork as well. And then it was always my intention to actually light it. So I will probably try and have lights across the top to act like sunlight coming down through the water. But there's also a few places in that build that I had always intended to light anyway. So there's like a few like little trans blue cylinders and those sorts of things around there that I had specifically put in with the idea that I wanted to light them up one day. And what would happen would be behind, at the back of that, is where all that sort of cabling and electric and all of that sort of stuff would be kept, because then that would sort of be hidden at the back. Legomaniac, yeah, that's the permanent state of our dining room tables. I don't know why we pretend like we have dining room tables. I should just call this my Lego building table because I very rarely eat at this table. And if I do, there's usually Lego on here as well anyway. But yeah, there's always plans, I think, that we have with our cities. I do suspect that I might need to rebuild some of that rockwork though once I get the wooden structures in place.
Was that just to strengthen it? You don't think it will take
weight?
Or...
I don't know. I don't know if I've got a. I don't know on my Instagram if I've even got a image of my grand hotel, but it is a very big build. So, because for whatever reason, I just sort of can't seem to build small. We've got too much space in Australia and everything just keeps on expanding. So, no. Yeah, I do have a video on my channel about my grand hotel, but I don't have a photo up on Instagram. And I don't even know whether or not I've got a photo of it on my new phone. Because I'm a terrible person when it comes to social media. And filing images.
There's always just so much you want to get around to doing. I think much the same. I've got a hard drive just full of different videos and things. It's like, yeah, I need to get out and do that one day, but
yeah.
It's like, it just comes up. Like a maniac, true Lego table that can serve as a dining table in a pinch. Yeah, you just get your arm from one end of the table and just drag it and try to make some space.
That whole thing.
Because yeah, I think much the same for the kids for their Lego table. It's just like we had a Thomas the Tank Engine sort of train type table, and that the Thomas the Tank Engine stuff all got lost, and then it's like, right, this is the Lego table now.
Yeah. Possibly. Yeah, it was quite early on my Grand Hotel video, so we'll probably have to scroll down a bit. Keep going. It was pre-Lion King.
I love the colors in your thumbnails, though. That's great.
Thanks. It took me a little while to figure out how to actually do thumbnails. So let's have a look. You can see sort of in the middle of the Mermaid Village video. So, yep, so that's the Mermaid Village one. If you scroll back up again, oh, no, we can have a look at this one if you want.
No, you always forget when you're streaming. So, okay, we'll make a note. Go back and have a look at that.
And then you can also see the start of my little water elf shelf as well. Here is my hotel. We won't be able to find it.
Grand Hotel, is that it?
Oh, yep, there we go. Yep.
Pull that up. You always forget when you're streaming how much it chugs down the.
Yeah. So there we go. So yeah, it's quite. I added in an extra floor, so instead of being 2 stories high and then the roof garden, it was 3 stories or tall, and then it's also 2 sets joined together, but it's also fatter in the middle as well. So yeah.
So cute. I really love that hotel too. That thing is so gorgeous.
Oh yeah, it's such a nice set.
I love that set.
And then even on the side over here, I put in like a little atrium that has the grand piano in it, and then like a little cocktail bar. On top of that, there's like a little balcony area, which is set up for like a high tea type area. And then on the top, there's still the swimming pool. But I think the actual official set had it quite casual and quite relaxed, where they were sort of like in their bathers and having juice and all of those sorts of things. But what I've actually done is display everyone in like ball gowns. So it was almost like you'd go to the rooftop garden to go to like a swanky ball or something, because I thought there's nowhere else where I can actually put mini dolls in their ball gowns in my city if I don't put them on the rooftop of the Grand Hotel.
Get a chance to see them, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there sometimes the thing with you detail out the insides of buildings and things like that, but for the most part, once you've had your city done, then nobody's ever going to see it.
Yeah, except for me. So yeah, the rooms are pretty much the standard rooms that came with the hotel. So I think originally there was only 1, and in this set there's 4. The downstairs, and it has all been tiled as well. So the downstairs you can see is all tiled in red and gold checkered, and then the other floors, I think, are white and gold checkered as well. And different lighting for the cocktail bar.
Oh, that looks...
like a little breakfast nook as well. Yeah, the little fountain around one side behind the check-in desks. It's quite complicated to take apart and put back together.
Yeah. But it looks like you kept it nice and modular, so you can always just rejig stuff relatively easily.
Yeah.
That's great. Love the tiling effect that you've got there, both this level and the other level that was up one.
Yeah. So I didn't fully tile the ground floor so that we could play around a bit with the mini dolls as to how to pose them. There's the little breakfast nook.
Oh, cool.
I always think in a hotel you're always going to have a buffet breakfast or a continental breakfast or whatever they call it.
Oh, definitely.
And then, when I lived in Sydney, I actually worked as a cocktail waitress in a hotel. So it's just like there's got to be a cocktail bar and a piano bar. And there's like the little balcony high tea area. Pucky's having a drink in the background as well, so that's good background noise. So I thought that was sort of quite cute. And of course, I then needed to add in an extra level of the elevator as well. So that was quite good fun to do that.
Is there an elevator in there? Okay,
yeah. So the tower that I'm sort of pointing to now on screen, that's where the elevator is.
Yes.
But as I said, all the rooms are the same as what came in the set, so I kept that standard. Yeah. But it did mean that I had to get enough parts in order to have another 3 rooms because it obviously only came with one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this is the upstairs area, so Andrea's there doing some more DJing. But there's also the swimming pool there, the little cocktail juice bar, depending on what you're drinking, and the swimming pool in the middle still. And then, like I said, everyone's in their ball gowns, just so that it was something a bit prettier to look at, rather than just bathers all the time.
Yeah.
And I had so much fun putting together the mini doll ball gowns as well.
That's excellent.
Yeah, it's just sort of something a bit different, I thought. And again, I think that this set I have actually seen pop up in different people's cities as well. So I think that this was one of the sets that a lot of people actually liked from the Friends line, and they did just sort of take the mini dolls out and added that to their city and put that in and around their city and everything.
Yeah, because it's certainly, if you've got a city and that architecture is always different and things, and that would be a nice one to have, a different pop of color and all that sort of stuff there as well. So no, great, thanks for talking us through that. That's
okay.
Where's that there? Oh, there we go.
How are you going with your building, Sarah? It's coming along. The cats here are starting to get a little crazy, so I think it's going to be they want some attention soon. But this looks pretty weird. It definitely doesn't look like a food truck yet.
No.
Yes. What are you building? It's like
a little brick built doggy though.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
But yeah, this does not look like a food truck yet.
No
idea.
No. It's definitely doing the internals or the structure on it first.
Yeah, it's like when people build those statue heads. Always like, what in the world? This is so weird. It doesn't look like Yoda. It doesn't look like Iron Man. And then it all comes together in the end.
Yeah.
Yes. I like Lego the Maniac, a food truck from Mad Max, perhaps. Not that one there. A good day to Commander Delta. Nice to have you along. And we also saw Brick Studios pop along as well. That's great. Thanks for coming by and checking it out. Built there. So, Adora, are there any lugs in Perth?
Yeah, we do have a Perth lug. I I'm part of the Perth Lug on Facebook, but I haven't actually gone along to one of their build nights yet. Because obviously over the past few months they haven't been happening.
Yeah.
And then it's also that thing where occasionally I do get a little bit nervous about showing up with my rainbow friend sets in front of a group full of strangers that might all be sat down building Star Wars.
Although you never know, you probably will find a kindred soul. I know with our London one there, you got everybody's interested in pretty much everything and anything. So I think there's some people into the old Fabuland stuff. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
And different people into Friends, and I think what was the other line, which is kind of like, it was Paradisa, I think.
Oh yeah, Paradisa. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's got obviously that sort of what would you call it?
Yeah, it's got very
pastel-y type hues and things.
Yeah. Very sort of pastel beachfronty, like Tropicana sort of vibes is what I always got from the Paradisa sets.
Yeah. I mean, something you said a bit earlier, you were saying that the Lego Masters show was impacting on Bricklink. Just, I mean, how much sort of an impact has that sort of just in general had in, I guess, the perception of Lego and the perception?
Yeah. Well, I think Australia has now had 2 seasons of Lego Masters, and then obviously there's also been the lockdown. So again, one of the guys that I get my parts from, who is actually based in Perth, I was chatting to him when I was picking up extra railroad track for my Disney train, and he was saying that usually in his Bricklink store he would have 100 to 110,000 parts. At the moment, he can't even really get his part count over 76,000, even though he's buying more parts more quickly, parting them out faster to try and get his numbers back up to over 100,000. He actually can't do it. And again, like I think I mentioned in passing, that I have picked up a few sets here and there secondhand. So in Australia, there's a few different secondhand selling sites, Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, a few of those different sort of sites. And prior to lockdown or Lego Masters, is that I was usually able to pick up sort of quite good bulk lots. Not all the time, but occasionally I'd just sort of be scrolling through. And for example, most of the additional parts that I got for the Grand Hotel, I picked up secondhand.
Yeah.
So it would just be, kids selling off their Lego collection, parents selling off the Lego collection, people wanting more space, people are going into their dark ages and not wanting Lego anymore. So quite often I just sort of hunt around, and I think that there was only, out of the 2 or 3 sets that I bought secondhand in order to build up that structure, I think I only actually got one of those as just that set. Is that the other 2 I got as part of like a big bulk lot of, 8, 9, 10 different sets, which was affordable and worked out really well and everyone was happy, but I just sort of went, I can't find sets of that quantity at that price anymore. Even hearing internationally, people going to charity shops and secondhand stores and getting bags of Lego. I've never seen Lego at a charity shop in Australia. It's that it just doesn't sort of really work out from there. But yeah, it's been interesting. Again, even our Australian online Lego store, I have never seen it so sold out than what I have since lockdown.
Yeah.
So, and even a lot of the bigger sets, like one of my wish list sets is the Hogwarts Castle, the micro scale version. And I had been hoping that if I had a good tax return this year, then that might be my treat to. Isn't like
a few more tax deductions.
Yeah. Well, it's primarily because I actually only work 4 days a week, but I pay 5 days a week of tax. So usually I do get tax back when I put in my tax return. And so last year that went on a few wish list sets, which were the Disney set. And this year I had intended to put it towards the Hogwarts Castle. And I was looking online the other day and I was like, it's pretty much sold out everywhere in Australia. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can track that down.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah, have you found with trying to get Lego during lockdown, it's been a bit of a challenge, or has it sort of been reasonable for you?
You know, I haven't even been trying, just ordering from the Lego store, and obviously that's not really been as much of a problem here in the Netherlands. I haven't been getting any secondhand Lego because I bought so much of it before we went into lockdown. I got really lucky because for some reason I went on this total secondhand Lego buying spree during February and January. So it was almost right before all the stuff got kind of like shut down.
You timed that very well.
I know, right? It was perfect. I have all kinds of stuff to play with, and I haven't gone out and looked around since.
Need to do it. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is. Every time I bought from the Lego, like lego.com, I don't think I've got an order with less than 2 calls to customer service. Like,
Really?
So I just don't bother. So we went into lockdown and it's like, okay, well, let's start getting into some of this backlog of stuff that we've got and start dealing with it. So,
yeah. I mean, for me, I've been really lucky with our Australian Lego store is that I've never had any issues with their customer service, but it is the most expensive place for us to get Lego from well, one of the most expensive places for us to get Lego from in Australia.
Yeah, definitely. It's
yeah, so that's why I don't usually bother with them.
Sorry, just saw that Lex wanted to jump on, and I'm not sure which. I thought I'd sent him the link, but maybe I haven't. Sorry. Just
That's okay. How's everyone going in the chat today? We've got lots of cat chat going on between the Maniac and Sarah by the looks of things. The cat enthusiasts are in the building.
Well, when Lego the Maniac did his was it 24-hour stream? It was for to one of those cats. Just trying to remember it.
Yes, for the cat rescue sites, which was great. I did order one of Lego the Maniac's mugs from that stream, and that's one of the few parcels that I actually haven't received yet since going into lockdown. But I think that might be because it probably arrived in Australia just after quarantine, so I think it must have ended up being buried under everybody else's post since then. Rat cat. It's not a rat cat.
Yeah, it's a sphinx, so it has no hair. It's really interesting.
Yeah. When I was growing up, my brother was really allergic to cats, so we actually had a Rex cat for a while, which was the cat with a little curly fur.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they sort of a very close crop, very short fur, but it's sort of scrunchy and curly, so it's not as bad for allergies. And I always thought that she was beautiful, but we always got lots of derogatory comments from various people that was our cat. I just always thought that she looked quite like regal and Egyptian and gorgeous. But a lot of people thought that we'd shaved her, which which wasn't very nice. Who shaved your cat?
Just see if I share this here. Have you guys seen the? I just heard about them. I just found it now. The advent calendars, which have just been released or announced a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I had a look at the Friends one, and yeah, I haven't checked out all of them yet. Are we getting a Harry Potter one as well? Does
I
anyone
heard
know?
somewhere along the lines we were getting one.
Sorry.
Yeah, new Harry Potter. What's this one here? Let's just sort of click on the links. Literally, I've only just sort of don't know what that one. Star Wars. That one. Oh, and the Friends one.
Yep.
Get them across there.
Yeah. I've had a bit of a look at the Friends ones and the images from that. But I wasn't sure if, because I knew that we were getting the second wave of the Harry Potter CMF, so I wasn't sure if we were going to get another advent calendar or not. So I'm very pleased that we are.
Primitive Drive. It looks like it's. Oh, is that just a generic Harry Potter Lego? Okay, maybe.
Oh, yes, the Golomaniac said, yes, another Harry Potter. So excited, perfect advent calendar theme. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay,
Oh, there it is. That's the box.
Yeah. While we're speaking of Harry Potter, somebody I know who went and tried to hunt down the microscale castle and has managed to find it. It's Lex. Welcome to the stream.
Lex.
Hello, guys. Thanks for having me, Matt.
Hi, Lex.
Thanks for jumping in. I know it must be, what, 8 in the morning or something silly there?
Yeah.
Appreciate it. You're still probably just waking up.
Yep. But I've got the castle that I might work on a little bit. I feel like I should be saving more of it for streams, but I don't know. It's hard not to build. It's such a fun little set.
Yeah. No, if you're building it now, I'll get to live vicariously through your set as well. And enjoy it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an awesome build. And I love this stand where the four founders go. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But what's weird about it is they're using stickered elements when in that book there was like a $20 book, and they use printed pieces exactly like that. So I don't understand why they would use stickers for the more expensive set.
Yeah, that's a bit weird and random.
I mean, was the book released like recently?
It was a 2018 thing.
Oh, okay. So, because the only thing I could think of is originally it was stickers, and then they went, "Oh, let's do them as printed pieces." But no, one's like, "No, we'll just whatever."
Yeah.
So,
And I think were you guys just talking about that advent calendar?
Yeah.
yeah. Just I'll flick it back up on the screen now. It's come back up.
Yeah, I think that's a cool little set. I don't really like the reuse of those minifigures. I mean, I bought them on Bricklink, and so they were more expensive than they would be if I were to buy them after this calendar was released. But I do like the other three exclusive figures we're getting.
Yeah. Lego the Maniac said it's Yule Ball themed. Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Do we get any? And I've lost words then. And so the minifigures are the same, are they?
So Ron, Harry, and Hermione all appeared in the Hogwarts Clock Tower set, which was also themed for the Yule Ball.
Well, I've got that set as well. Well, that's a bit of a shame.
And I suppose the other side of that is that if you didn't, get that that set, then you can still get it that way.
That's true. These advent calendars have had some cool little builds. Like I really do like what they have for his broomstick that's meant to be wrapped up in the red and gold wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Even that gramophone looks really cool.
The way that they've got it and put it together there.
Were there other characters in that set?
Let's just pull
In
up
the
this
clock
one.
tower?
No, in this one.
Oh yeah, there's another outfit for Cho Chang, and then there's also
The two sisters.
yeah.
Are there two of them? One oh yeah, it is. One for Harry and one for Ron.
Yep.
What do you think of Lego Maniac's comment? I wish the contents of the advent calendars were completely hidden. I like to be surprised.
I mean, I kind of would too, but it's hard to avoid that, especially like if you are involved in the Lego community. It's hard to not see images or something.
Sorry, Megalomania, we've just ruined that completely for you.
Aww.
And we didn't even offer any spoiler warnings.
Well, the stream's going well.
Yeah.
G'day to Sean's Lego channel. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate that. And Mama's Bricks, the outfits are cool. Yeah, they got there. Because I think the kids also had the calendars last couple of years. Let's just have a quick look. Okay, we'll do it this way. For people like Lego Maniac, we're going to have a look at the Star Wars Lego calendar, advent calendar. So look away if you don't want to.
I get to tell you when we've finished talking about all this if you don't want to know.
So this is the first time I've seen them. Well, that looks kind of funky with the Darth Vader.
This
I
winter
like the
jacket.
sweaters though. So cute.
The sweater there, yeah.
So cute.
Little Death
Oh, I
Star on
love
it.
that.
I really do like that figure.
Who's that meant to be? Is that just a generic one with BB-8?
I don't know. I don't know enough about. If it was an Ewok, I'd be able to tell you, but outside of that, I have very limited knowledge of Star Wars.
What's that? DO, I think, one of the new droids. I mean, these look like computer renderings rather than.
That's true, but all of the positions that they're in, it's not like they're unachievable with minifigures, but they do have something about them that looks online.
Well, it's more that, particularly with DO, just the way that all there, that doesn't look, particularly that edge, that looks like a render rather than an actual real photograph. So I think maybe rather than go through all those, we'll just have a quick little look here. So it looks like there's a nice mixture between ships and characters.
Yeah, that's what I like about the advent calendars, is getting some of those specialised like wintertime pieces and the little Christmas jumpers and those sorts of things. I was so disappointed the last few years because in the Friends advent calendars we haven't had mini dolls, but they're back. So I'm very excited that we finally got our winter mini dolls back again.
Lego Maniac, yeah, show the Star Wars one, it's fine. I don't need yet another micro Millennium Falcon.
No, you just need one that you can build in 24 hours. A live stream.
With instructions that actually work.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him. Get that custom one where, because it's digital, it fits together, but then if you try to do it in real life, it's like, no, that didn't work too well. So next we'll jump over to the Friends one, I hope. So for anyone who doesn't want to see it just yet, look away, spoiler, all that sort of stuff. Okay, this looks cool.
One piece an hour, that would be about Matt's speed. I think Lego Maniac is teasing you.
That would be about Matt's speed. He's probably, to be fair, he's probably right. So, okay, so what do we got here?
Yeah, so we've got a mini claw, like a Mrs. Claus up in the top corner, which is really cool. And then we've got Emma in a, I think that's a different top that we haven't had before, but we've had those trousers. And then we've got those two micro doll elves, like Santa
those are
workshop
Mm.
elves, yeah. Which is really interesting because obviously we had the storybooks with the Disney theme where we got Beauty and the Beast, Frozen, Mulan, and the Little Mermaid with those micro dolls. And now we've got them here, which is interesting.
I'm curious. So that elf, they've used an elf hat piece for a couple characters. Some of them were in the Santa's Workshop, which was one of the those seasonal sets that they have. And I'm curious, do you know if that's the same piece?
I don't. The only photo that I've seen has been this one, which I saw last night when I was talking to my friends, Lego friends online. But I'm pretty sure that with the micro dolls that we got with the storybooks is that they had separate hair pieces that you could actually fit onto a mini doll, which would then mean that you could fit them onto a mini fig. So I would think that maybe the hats and the ears might be one part that you just stick on the head. Women's Spritz. I think I need two, one for the girls and one for Mama. Yes. That's the way to do it.
And then bricking it was to go well with winter sets. Nice to see you along, bricking it. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that. Sean's Lego channel. I don't like the Friends one. I don't know if I'll get any. I might get the Star Wars one. And so we'll come back with something. Is that an angry face?
He might be
and
having
then
a bad time of it.
yeah, it looks the same as the Santa's Workshop.
Yeah,
so
they might.
Sorry, go Adora.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, I think that they might be the same hats.
Okay.
And then Sean's asking there's for the city one as well, yeah.
So was there another? So between those, what are we sort of thinking? We got the. Did we have a look at the? I don't think we had a look at the general one.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Yeah.
So you've got a mixture of. Just a second. Go back and stay. Looks like you got 1, 2, 3, 4, about half dozen figures, and then mostly micro builds of vehicles. This police station. Well, the Santa sleigh, that looks kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a cute little Rudolph that they've got in front of that.
So, I mean, between those, we've got. Was there a page which had them all? Sorry, just looking for. So, I guess between those lots there. So we had the city one, the Harry Potter, the Star Wars, and the Friends ones. What ones do we think we'll pick up?
I'll probably get Harry Potter and Friends, which is what I got last year. It looks like Sean saying that he's probably going to get the Star Wars one. He doesn't like the look of the city one. He doesn't like Friends. So Star Wars for him. What about you, Matt? Which ones are you interested in?
First of all, good morning, Cafe Con. Thanks for joining us. Great that you're along.
Hey, Cece.
don't think the city one's got anything of any great appeal. I mean, it's good having the two kids because they usually like to get one or the other. So I'm sure one of them's definitely going to do the Harry Potter. The Star Wars ones, those I do like that Vader. Have they done that before?
I think that those Star Wars ugly sweaters torso pieces are fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing with Christmas sweaters. They're meant to be ugly and things like that. And I think that kind of does nail it.
Mm.
I think somebody in the chat said that the character's meant to be Poe Dameron with the BB-8, the green one there.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the Friends one? Possibly that. I mean, the longer the stream's gone on, the more that I'm looking at the Friends stuff in a different light.
Yeah, and I think that it is that whole thing where you just sort of go, well, you just take the parts that you want. Any extra mini dolls, I'll be more than happy to adopt.
Well, I've never been.
They can come and live with me in my rainbow Technicolor city.
Even with minifigs, I've never been huge into them. Like they sort of, you have them there and things like that. Even when doing like sig figs for the channels and things like that, I don't think it came until whose stream? It may have been Lego Maniac's stream actually, where he wanted like a thumbnail or something. And then I realized what I was using was terrible, so I needed to do something about it. And then even then, I just said to the kids here, "Why don't you make up our sig figs?" And they went through and made up some interesting choices. So I guess sort of a bit stuck with some of that for a while.
So that's the problem with Lego Maniac. He sets the bar far too high. The rest of us then have to struggle to keep up with him.
Oh.
It's too professional, Lego Maniac.
See you later, Sean. Thanks for stopping by, and in the chat, Matt, being great.
I'll probably be getting the Harry Potter Advent Calendar, but they usually drop to about $20 US off of their $40 US retail price if you wait them out a couple months. So I'll wait until then. I don't need it around Christmas time.
Yeah, that's always the thing. Is like, do you take that? Like, certainly after Christmas, they're always on sale. But then it's a matter of, well, can you actually find any of them? So that's a good point you bring up there, Lex. I mean, do you guys normally get them before Christmas, or you wait?
Last year, I did get them when they first came out because I had intended to do videos. I actually did record the Harry Potter video, but then I didn't actually have enough time to edit it, so that didn't happen. But I think this year I might do something a little bit similar, Lex, but I might actually wait until December because I did notice that a lot of the stores in Australia, when it got to about mid-December, a lot of the advent calendars started to drop in price. So if I go to my favourite cheaper store that we have here that sells Lego at the best price, in about mid-December I'll probably get it for a bit cheaper, but hopefully that will still be early enough on so I don't miss out. Because in Perth we don't have very many options. So if I miss it, I miss it.
Yeah, that's always been the thing with Australia, is that everything is just so far away from anywhere, you're kind of limited with what you get.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's very few choices.
Yeah.
What about, is Sarah around? No, she's not. I was going to ask her about.
Yeah, she's still. Oh.
Well, there's hands. Sarah, do you have any thoughts about any of the advent calendars? Are you going to be picking up any of them or admiring them via video?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might have to get the Star Wars one this time just because of the sweaters. They're really cute. I don't know about the other one. Sorry, I'm a little distracted because my internet is really not very good here, and the baby cat woke up, so.
Because what are you sort of pet minding or something at the moment?
What's that?
Are you pet minding or something at the moment?
Yeah, I am. So I'm not at my house right now. I come in the mornings to check on the cats that I'm watching while their owners are currently out of town.
Oh, nice. No, I appreciate you then taking your streaming gear with you and joining us.
Oh, no problem at all.
What about others in the chat? What are we thinking? For Lego Maniac for Christmas, I definitely don't get advent calendars for the purpose of acquiring cheap parts. It's for the tradition. There might be a hint of sarcasm in there, I think. Is there what are they? I think in the UK. Just trying to think of what the prices is here for them. I thought they're about £25, and then 40 in the US. Does that sound about right, Lex?
Yeah, they're usually $40 here.
And Mama's Bricks. I agree. I would imagine that's probably referring to the fact that you're not getting them for cheap parts later on.
I also think that the city advent calendar is $30 as opposed to 40, and I don't know if the Friends is the same, but I know there's a difference between the licensed themes like Harry Potter and Star Wars as opposed to city.
City ones, yeah. I just sort of
Yeah, I
filled
think
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does always make you wonder with the licensing, just how much that does actually add, and then how much they just use to go, oh yes, it adds a pound or $1 or something, but we'll say it does 5 or 10.
I feel like that's more realistic as to what they're doing.
A chocolate one is cheaper. Mama's Bricks. Must have missed part of the conversation. Does anybody know what that? No. Okay.
Chocolate
advent calendar is cheaper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the chocolate one doesn't last very long, does it?
Not in my house.
I don't think any. So, because usually with the kids we started off with the chocolate ones years ago, and then obviously added in the Lego one, and it's always funny when you get to like December 26th, and they're still like, "Well, where's the chocolate now?"
What's happened? Fair.
It's Christmas thing. It's over. It doesn't mean that this ends. Okay, Lego Maniacs come back. Tried to be more serious and sarcastic. The advent calendars are probably some of the most expensive ones relative to the amount of parts, but I actually have not checked that properly. That's a good point, because I always felt the advent calendars, they did feel a little bit on the expensive side. But I guess if you're going through and you're getting half a dozen minifigs, some pieces, it probably might be a bit of a markup on that. I don't know. What do you guys think or feel about that?
I feel like when you look at them, they're just the same as the people packs. I mean, they come with quite a few figures and some small builds, and people packs are also $40. I think it's just because of the amount of minifigures. They never have a substantial amount of pieces in them. It's typically they just mark it up because they know people like large amounts of figures.
Yeah. I mean, also then, I guess, with the way the boxes are they slightly more expensive to produce? I mean, they probably would be, but I wouldn't imagine it's going to be that much.
Yeah.
So, what have we got here? Brett's builds. Santa's got room 2020 in my house. Haha, Daddy. Choo Choo needs a new train.
Yes.
Does make me wonder.
Brett is a train enthusiast.
Yeah, I'm always amazed.
Building trains, so which I never thought I'd do, but now I've got my Disney train. I've already bought extra track for it. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, I think with some of the London-based guys, they are starting to get into more trains because of Brett and that there. And I think saw it that unfortunately came into a bit late. We had one of the Harry Potter ones, which I saw on sale for a really good price, the Hogwarts one, and then haven't seen that price since. It's like, I need to get that or something.
Yeah, the Hogwarts Express that came out a couple of years ago, that's still in my backlog.
Yeah, I got that set for, I think it was $60, and that's a good deal. It retailed for $80 here, so. And I'm going to motorize it at some point. I was doing like an online rendering to figure out how I do it, and I have a great way that only requires like 8 extra pieces. But the motors and hub is so expensive.
Yeah, I've seen a few people motorize it. I think that GJ Bricks motorised it, and I think Kaz from Blockhead UK motorised hers as well. So I think when I build it, I'd want to motorise it so that then I'd be able to put it on the same loop as where my Disney train is going to go as well. Not at the same time, but you know, definitely need to follow a tutorial in order to be able to do that, I think.
Hopefully I'll have finished doing mine at some point before
Yeah.
that, but just show you.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely need to watch someone to tell me how to do it.
See how someone's done it.
Yeah.
But that's always the nice thing with a lot of this. You get people so creative with it that within a very short time of a set being released, somebody's figured out, how to optimize it or motorize it or, do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was even with the pirate roller coaster, Brixtonville, who has that fantastic city with all the lights in it. He did a tutorial on how to motorize the pirate roller coaster. And I realized that the shape of the pirate roller coaster was very similar to the shape of the Unikitty ride, but Unikitty ride was only like a half a loop. So I thought you can probably just get 2 of those sets, join them together, pick up a couple of extra parts on Bricklink, and then you'd have the same loop. And that's actually how I ended up motorizing my Unikitty roller coaster, was just following his tutorial for the pirate roller coaster. But instead of pirates, I've got rainbows and Unikitty.
Making slight little tweaks to it. So
Yeah.
the other thing which might just have a quick little look at is this. We don't know how much this is true, but earlier, a week or 2 ago, you had a German website which got translated announcing all the sets that were retiring at the end of this year.
Mm.
So I think it's just good to have a bit of a look through that and sort of go, oh yes, must remember to get that one. So you've got sort of the second half of the year. I wonder if the images are a bit on the slow side to come up. So we've got the Shanghai and Las Vegas architecture. Some of the brickheads. Some of the city. Something.
I'm going to check on Lego.com. They have a section where it shows what's retiring soon. I'm going to show if it's been updated recently.
Yeah, that's here as well, Lex. Cy O'Connor has joined us as well. Hi, Cy. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, still Cy there. Thanks for coming along, Cy. Great to have you here as well. So some of the creator sets. Some of the Batman, Disney Lego Princess.
Yeah, all the Frozen one. ones that came out at the beginning of the year, those storybook ones as well.
Yeah.
We only seem to be getting one wave of Disney Princess now as well.
I just checked and it hasn't been updated. It's still just the Lego Movie 2 that says it's retiring soon.
Oh.
Yeah, which was like pretty much the end of last year. I mean, you've still seen some of those sets floating around. So, I mean, it's interesting with the Dots theme. I mean, this was only
this was series 1. Yeah,
series 1, but that was only released. I mean, that's the nice thing about here in this column. It tells you the year and the month it was released. But I guess with the Dots stuff, they are churning it over and you've already got the second series out.
Yeah.
So,
it'll be interesting to see how long they intend to have that theme around for as well. If it's just going to be sort of like quite quick and short, like the Hidden Side, or whether or not they're intending to have it around for a bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, what do we feel on that? Do we think it's going to be like a, when you say standard, it's sort of like, what they used to do was sort of like 3 years maybe, or do you think it's going to become an evergreen?
For Dots?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think that it could. I don't know how well it's selling, and it really all comes down to that. But from what I've seen, they've been well received, so I think they could keep them going for a while and still be profiting off of it. But then again, I also thought Hidden Side was doing well.
Yeah, I think it will be interesting to see with the Dots, because I think that that's been quite popular from what I can see. Like even amongst AFOLs, is that a lot of us are wearing our bracelets and have them, and different people, even different genders, are picking up the bracelets and that sort of stuff. So I think that that's sort of been quite interesting.
Yeah, and certainly with the kids that we've got, one of them's really latched onto that idea of like tile and pattern building, as opposed to the construction side of it, which I think that's what it was targeted at.
The Dot sets that I've built are very basic builds and not that fascinating to build, but I just find it so relaxing to be able to sit there and tile a pattern. I saw that they were launching the Dots and the concept. I was like, I don't know whether or not that's for me. I really like building, and it's nice to be challenged during a build and build something different. And then I thought, I'll get a few to see what it's like. And then I've just been completely sucked in by pattern tiling. Pucky's having another drink again.
Yeah, because we got to work on the House of Dots, which was Lego's promotional thing here in London. So we saw it, what was it, probably a couple months early. And I still remember when they first showed it to us, because we had no idea. It's just like, oh, Lego want to do some stuff. You have to turn up here. It's like, okay. And then they told us when we were there. And it took a while initially just to wrap your head around it. It's like, okay, this is different. It's kind of like, initially you're going, is it ClickUps 2.0 or is it like...
That's what I was thinking.
And I think most people thought of that initially, but then when they sort of explain it, it's like, no, it's kind of more on the pattern side of things, because you've got so many people which not so much can't follow instructions and things like that, but they're not used to building Lego in terms of brick building, but getting some tiles and sticking it onto a surface is relatively easy.
Yeah. It's just so relaxing and peaceful and enjoyable. It's,
Yeah, and it's always interesting just to sort of see, like, what different patterns that people end up doing. Like even just having a look through some of your stuff earlier on Instagram and just seeing the panda ones that you had and how you were approaching it. It's always just great to see, because everyone does it slightly differently.
Yeah. Self-declared rainbow addict here. So if you watch the Dots video that I did, it's that at the end of it, it's just how many different ways can I create rainbow patterns with my Dots bracelets?
Yeah. So those are the looks like the Friends ones, which are going to be retiring potentially.
Yeah.
Couple 4+, and then the second half. Is that Octopus Carousel? Rescue Submarine for Dolphins. Does that? It's got me interested now that you had that little dolphin up early, the baby one.
Yeah, this was the mid-year wave that they did last year, which was sub-theme, which was sort of like marine rescue. And so this is where we got, there is a baby dolphin in this set, and then there's an adult dolphin. This is also where we got the little pink narwhal as well, the little pink whale with the horn on it. So that's in another one of this sub-theme as well.
Yeah.
And I was even thinking for my temporary jungle build in my city, not only having the 2 different jungle sets, but I might even try and add some of these marine rescue sets to one side as well.
That would be
That
cool.
might just be getting a bit carried away, but no.
Well, I suppose if you build down and you've got like an underwater section.
Yeah. What are the Harry Potter sets that are discontinuing? I've got to make sure that I get Hogwarts.
This is the interesting one. So, because obviously they've been bringing out the newer ones, which link into the older ones, and if people come into the tail end of that and then start getting ones which are completely discontinued. So anyhow, you got the Weeping Willow Great Hall Quidditch tournament. The Tri-Wizard tournament one, Traveling Night Bus, the Carriage, and the Rise of Voldemort. And Hidden Sun. Oh, sorry.
I'm still okay with Microscale Castle then.
I feel like that must be retiring soon. I mean, it's pretty confirmed that there will be a Diagon Alley set coming out in September, but if it does come out, I feel like they wouldn't want the Hogwarts Castle to be a competitor to it. I feel like they would just want to retire it and then just have that as a segue into their new $400 Harry Potter set.
But then it made me wonder whether or not they were going to retire the Disney Castle when the Disney train station came out, but it almost seemed like the train station gave people an extra momentum to actually get the castle as well.
Yeah, I love those big Disney sets, and I have none of them. So at some point, I really want to pick them up. But I do have Goofy from that set. I couldn't not buy him. So
He's adorable.
he's expensive.
Yeah, he cost me $500 or $600.
Yeah.
Not that I'm complaining, because I've also got a train and a train station.
Hey Greg, great to see you stop by. I appreciate that. On the Bridge Bricks. Although looking at it, because we got to the point where we were sort of going one way or the other. So like, do we look at getting the big microscale castle, or do we get the minifigure ones? And we sort of went more for the minifigure ones because, the kids will play with that. Whereas my sort of thing is I don't get the sense I'll get much play value out of the big display castle. So whether or not it's going for 2 kind of different parts of the market. But yeah, certainly if you've got, one, I think the castle in the UK is it £325, £350? And then, if you've got Diagon Alley sitting next to it for a similar sort of price, you could be a bit of a challenge or, cannibalize sales from it.
Yeah, that's true. But the Diagon Alley will be minifigure scale, which is nice.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like it will come out and it will be minifigure scale, whereas the the castle's microfigure
Hmm.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
So,
these things are tiny. I didn't realize just how small they were, but I'm gonna put it on my sig fig's hand just so you can really get a bit. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, they're very small. And there's another piece that they used in board games. There was another small figure, and I thought that's what they'd be using for this, but this is something else.
Yeah, because those microfig scales, I mean, they even have them labeled on Bricklink as trophy pieces.
Yeah,
So, because I know the first time I went looking to try to buy some extra ones, you're typing it's like nanofig and all these sorts of things, and nothing was coming up. And it's like, surely, like, I'm not making this up. Now, Hidden Side, has it actually been officially confirmed that it's being discontinued?
no, I don't believe the Lego has released a statement talking about it, but it's been heavily discussed, so I believe that it's true.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I noticed in the last month or so before, the room, well, yeah, this week I think is when it really started to get circulated that it's being discontinued. As a lot of these sets have been, at least in the UK, having massive flash sales on Amazon and I think Argos, which is another department store here, like 50% off type thing. Like it's not like 10% here or there. It's a fair bit. And a tease is just going to pop out. So thanks very much for stopping by. I appreciate that. Have a good day.
I think Mama's Bricks is off as well.
Yeah, Mama's Bricks. See you
both.
later, Mama's Bricks.
Bye, guys.
And then Sister T's staying there. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe just go for another little bit and then start wrapping it up. Is that what are you guys all feeling?
Yeah, no, that's cool. I've finished my build.
Oh, just have a quick little look at that then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awesome little set.
Yeah. So I'll just move all the side builds out the way. But yeah, so that's the house all done. We've got a little fabric hammock, which is quite cute. Obviously the flamingo crab, cute little sandcastle down here as well.
And g'day to the unknown Brick. I don't think I've ever seen you on one of my streams. Thanks for stopping by.
So that's there. And then we can flip that up to the little DJ area. And then we can also flip that up as well. And on the top of there, we've got the keyboard pieces.
Oh, cool.
So just those little 1x2 tiles, 2 of those to make up those keyboard pieces.
Okay.
And then the interior, as per usual, is fairly small. So a couple of bunk beds and a little desk, small little kitchen down here, and then the little toilet where they've actually used one of those seashell pieces as the toilet, which is quite funny and unique.
So I haven't used the sort of like standard round kind of piece they usually do for it.
No. I thought that was quite funny for a seaside set. And then the little shutters on the front. And we also get like one little burger. It's quite a cute little burger build. Nothing different there. But yeah, cute little house. Really cool. I really like this build as well. I think that's really cool. And obviously that would be really easy to modify for minifigs as well. So nice little summer set.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I like the flip up party deck sort of thing. That's cool.
Yeah.
And Lego Maniac, it needs cheese, which I think is that an insert from another stream. I think.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, does the burger need cheese? I don't know.
And the unknown Brick, is this a Lego set? Yes, it is. Adora, what's the
terrible friends mini doll set?
It's got a lot of seems to be a lot of great pieces and colours for it.
Yeah.
So,
I think that the way that they've done the front of this set is really nice with the water, the sandcastle, the animals. I like this hammock. And the colours are really cool for a beachside house as well. And like you
Yeah.
said, that DJ deck up the top is cool.
I think Legomaniac friend sets always get their burgers wrong. In what way? It's a bit of plastic, like.
There's a little cheese slice for you, Lemaniac. I'll put that next to the burger so that you can add that when you come for a visit.
I'm sure in your city, if you've got a cafe or anything now, you'll have these little, literally cheese pieces.
Yeah, exactly. I'll spread them out everywhere.
Cool. All right, let's just I think just go through a couple more of the. Is my streams? Just trying to share the screen. A couple more of the retiring sets, and then maybe start winding it down a bit. I think Sarah also too might be having a few little problems with her connection or something. So.
Lego Maniac, whenever you need cheese, I'll always provide you with cheese.
I wonder if we could do a little tiny puzzle box for the mini dolls.
There's the challenge.
Or maybe it should be for Lego Maniac. Can he make one for the mini dolls? Then he's come back looking at the Friends Drifting dinner set, and you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, I was actually tidying up my spare bedroom where I've got a lot of Lego sets in boxes, storage, and I actually came across my box that has all the go-kart sets in it, including the Drifting Diner set.
Brilliant. So we have the hidden side. If we assume that it's all going to wind up, do you guys have much of the hidden side stuff?
I don't have a single hidden side set, and I was going to get that bus just for when my city grows, so that I have a school bus. But I don't know. I don't know what the price point on it. So
yeah,
I'm the opposite, and I have all of it except for the latest wave.
Yeah, I think picked up a couple while they've been on sale, and I saw the bus yesterday go on sale, but it was only 30% off. So, Lego Maniac, who in their right minds who in their right mind makes burgers? Okay, I'll let you read it. I'll just
It's atrocious. Yeah. I did get all the hidden side sets, but I found that when I bought those was in my Lego purchasing lull. So it meant that I've got all the latest wave and I was waiting for the next wave to come out. And at that stage, I don't think that I had the room for my city. So I sort of went, I really would quite like something to build. And I think also at that point, most of the Series 1 sets had gone on sale as well. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do about this wave of hidden side.
I suppose then it's partially wait for official confirmation. Then we got some of the Lego, the Marvel stuff, Mindstorms. Yeah, because they announced the next version of that. Managed to pick that up recently because it was like 50% off or something crazy. So a few Minecraft. You guys into Minecraft at all?
No.
Not really. I just don't like. I mean, I know this is how the game is, but I don't like the blockiness of it, and that's exactly what the game is. But I don't know. They're not for me.
Yeah, I think it's very specialized in that regard. I mean, our kids are into Minecraft, so they love them. Some of the Ninjago. It looks like some of the Slammers. I mean, a lot of the Ninjago stuff, it seems that they keep on doing slightly different designs each year anyhow. You guys into Ninjago at all?
I don't know. Some of the sets look interesting, but I don't have any of them. What I did like was the Ninjago movie sets. That had some awesome ones.
Yeah, I really like the Ninjago sets, but I don't have any of it either. I have to draw the line somewhere when it comes to what I purchase. So it's just, I can't add another theme into this.
Do it, yeah. It's certainly once I saw Kazmoket's Ninjago district, particularly with a couple of sets there, it's like, I wish I would have bought those now. And like the main building and the docks and stuff like that, they look great. But even on the secondary market, like they're at a premium now.
Yeah,
for crazy sort of things.
Surprisingly, on Black Friday, I don't know, is that a worldwide thing or is that just in the United States?
No, I think it's become a worldwide thing. I mean, it's definitely in the UK and certainly in Australia. It used to have it.
Anyway, this year for their sale, there were like 4 days of it, and every day there would be a couple new sets with a big sale on them. And Ninjago City was like 30 or 40% off on their site, which was crazy.
Crazy, yeah. And some of the Star Wars ones, like the Death Star, that's retiring. I would imagine they'll probably bring up an updated version next year or something. Yeah, it's almost like a given. You've got the Sand Speeder, an X-wing, and a Death Star.
Yeah, but what does make sense about the Sand Speeder is if it is a Mos Eisley Cantina, the next UCS set is, because then that goes so well with that, so the release would make sense, as well as Obi-Wan's hut. Both of them would be able to go with the Cantina.
The Cantina there as well, yeah. And then on the Technic side, I think the main thing of interest is this all-terrain one. And then the rest are from earlier, some trolls and things like that. So, yeah. Okay then. All right then. I think we might start winding it down then as such. So thanks very much for coming along and joining us. And certainly check out the people's channels that we've got here. Hit the thumbs up button. So we've got Adora build. We had Daily Brick Builder Lex. And earlier we had Sarah Starbricks, who's just dropped out with some challenging issues. And of course we had a little bit of Solo Brick Builder. So we'll just go across to Adora first. Have a look there. What's obviously the Hidden Side bus? What's the other one?
This was actually one of the school buses from one of the Friends sets. So because one of the things that is interesting with the Hidden Side bus is that it's huge. So it's actually 8 studs across, and then you've also got all the extra bits sticking out on the sides. So the 8 studs is just here, and it is a very long bus. But I actually really like this little bus for a city. And I think that you'd probably be able to find the instructions for this online really easily. I think that there's only been 2 high school sets in the Friends line. And, I just think that it's a really cool little build. Obviously, you can swap out the purple if you don't want the purple. It opens up. You'd be able to fit more minifigs in there as well. And then the roof also comes off as well. So you can actually fit 5 mini dolls in there. So you'd easily be able to fit 5 minifigs in.
Yeah.
You might even be able to get an extra row of minifigs as well. So I just want to show that to Lex if he's talking about school buses.
No, that bus makes more sense for a city, that's for sure. I mean, on the those road plates, the 6 stud wide cars work a lot better. So like the old Speed Champion sets, as well as that bus. Yeah, that's definitely a better alternative, I'd say. I didn't realize just how big that hidden side one was.
Yeah, the hidden side bus is huge. It's massive. It's one of the biggest vehicles I've ever come across. But I'll let you know more details about this one on Discord anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Adora, what have you got coming up on your channel, and where can people find you?
I think I will be releasing a video later tonight. So that will be another one of the jungle sets, just a little speed build. And then hopefully over the weekend, early next week, I should have another city update filmed and ready to go, which will include the Disney train,
Oh, awesome.
amongst other changes.
Great. We look forward to checking that lot out. So, Lex, how about you?
So I'm definitely going to be streaming more of the build for the Hogwarts Castle. As for videos coming out, I just announced a mock contest because I hit 100 videos and I asked people what they wanted me to do as like a special video, and they said, a lot of people said mock contest. So I'm doing one, and then I did a vote for which theme it should be, and Harry Potter won. So it's a Harry Potter mock contest. If you want to enter, I have a video on it that you can check out, and my email's in the description of that, so you can email me photos of your mock. But that's really it. I mean, still just posting videos Monday through Friday.
Cool, excellent, great.
Congratulations on 100 videos as well, mate. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I've had a
definitely.
channel for like 3.5 months, so I've been putting out a lot of videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would average out to basically one a day, which, yeah, it's one of those things where we, it's certainly, you see people on YouTube and you think, oh, it's easy and things like that, but then you actually get in and you start actually doing it, and there's a hell of a lot of work in the editing at least. So
yeah.
So if you've got 100 in basically 100 days, that's all right, but that's excellent. So I'll just sort of see, just got in the comments there. That's a great bus from Cy O'Connor. Goodbye from Lego Maniac. Thanks very much for stopping by. Same with Cy. Thanks for coming by. And seeing if there's anybody else which is still there. So as for me, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. New York time, and silly o'clock in Australia, I'm doing a you say I draw type thing with Solo Brick Builder. So basically, people in the chat, if you're making comments, I'll be going through and drawing whatever that is, just quick sketches, bit of fun there, and then be back next Friday, same sort of time, doing another East meets West stream. So anybody here is more than welcome to join, and anybody else out there in the chat as well. Other than that, I think did anybody else have anything else they needed to say and just forgot or needed to get it out there?
No, just thanks for the invite, Matt.
Yeah, thanks so much for inviting us onto your stream, Matt. It's been lots of fun.
Oh, great to have you guys, and yeah, certainly appreciate it. And Lex, I know it's pretty early in the morning there, and Adora build certainly on a Friday afternoon when you're Friday evening, kicking back and just unwinding for the weekend. Great to have you guys on. So as I think that covers pretty much everything. If you can on the way out, just hit the thumbs up. That'd be great. Subscribe would be even better. And until next time, when we talk about all things Lego and lifestyle. Bye, everyone. Take it easy.